Hello my lovelies, today's video is going to be this really cute frosty wintry kind of look. I'm just here with my crazy hair and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I have my peppermint mocha so I was feeling a little wintry. So yeah, I just kind of went with it on this video. I didn't really have an idea going in. Of course, starting out by just priming my eyelids with some of the Urban Decay primer potion, and then I did set that down with some of the Coty Airspun powder. Then we're going to be jumping into the Colourpop KathleenLights So Jaded palette, starting with the Rose Quartz shade just on a really fluffy brush, and I am just blending this all the way through the crease, and just keep on going back and forth until you have it built up to a point that you like. Then I'm going to take a slightly smaller fluffy brush with the shade Turquoise, and I'm going to blend this in kind of the lower crease area. I don't want to go over top of that Rose Quartz shade too much. I want them to kind of just meet right in the crease. So I'm just blending out that turquoise shade through the crease, building it up to a point that I like. And then I was really happy with this color. It's super, super pretty. And then I went back with my original Rose Quartz shade a little bit just to make sure the colors were blending together nicely. Then I'm going to take our turquoise shade on a more flat, dense brush, and I'm going to pack this on the outer corner and inner corner of the eye. We are doing a halo eye look today, so I'm just going to get that nice and built up on those corners of the eye. Then once that's to a point that I like, I'm going to take this very small fluffy brush and I'm going to really kind of blend and pack that shade through the crease. Again, just kind of building it up until it gets to a point where it kind of matches the intensity of the outer corners. Then we're going to pack the shade Aquamarine on the lid, and again, another gorgeous shade. This is a really pretty kind of light silvery turquoise shade, super gorgeous. And I am just packing that on the center of our lids where we left it blank, just with my finger. Then I am taking a brush just to help it blend into the turquoise shade. So really just kind of, not buffing it out, but kind of just blending the edges into the turquoise. And then once that's all blended and a little bit softer, I am going to just re-intensify the aquamarine shade. We're going to stop on eyes for just a minute and go ahead and do our face, starting with the No Poreblem primer that just exploded all over the place on me today. And I'm just going to apply that all over the face here. And once that is on, I'm going to be going in with my NYX Born to Glow foundation, just with a beauty sponge. And I'm not going to make you watch me blend out my whole face, but this is a fairly high coverage foundation with a little bit of a glowy finish. That's just kind of what I was going for this look, a little bit glowy. If you are interested in seeing a review on this foundation, I do have one on my channel. I will put the link in the description down below. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. Once the foundation is all blended out, I'm going to go in with my Kokie concealer. This is the Be Bright Illuminating Concealer, and I'm just going to apply this under my eyes and on my inner corners of my eyes there. And I'm going to start by just blending this out with a sponge, mainly under the eye. And then as we get into kind of that inner corner area, I don't want to mess up my eyeshadow, so I'm actually going to add just a teeny bit more product in that inner corner area. And then I am going to actually blend it out with a little small flat concealer brush. And it did mess up the eyeshadow just a little bit, but don't worry, we will go back and fix that later. I'm going to go ahead and get everything set down with the Coty Airspun powder, just lightly patting this into the face, just getting everything set down, not putting too much on because I don't want to be super matte. Then we're going to go ahead and bronze with the Becca. This is the Sunrise Waves Gradient Sunlit Bronzer. And it's super gorgeous, and I did go a little bit heavy-handed with it today, but I'm definitely going for more of a kind of glowing bronzy look than a contour look. So I'm just applying this under my cheekbones, across my forehead and temples, And then I am taking it on a smaller brush for my nose. And always tap off your brush before you do it on your nose. Pro tip. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just buff everything out because it was a little bit strong, like I said. And then once that is all done, I'm going to go ahead and just put on my brows real quick. Today I'm using the Anastasia Brow Definer pencil, and they are a little bit messy today, so just ignore them. They didn't want to behave. I'm going to set them down with a little bit of the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Then we're going to go ahead and finish up the eyes, starting by taking a little bit more of this quartz shade on our first fluffy brush. Again, like I said, just to blend everything out, fix where the foundation or concealer may have touched it. And then I'm going to take that same rose quartz shade on a smaller, this is a slightly angled fluffy brush, and I'm really just going to buff that out on the lower lash line. And then we're going to go in with the turquoise shade on that same small fluffy brush we used for our crease earlier. And I'm really just blending this all across the bottom lash line. Then I'm going to go back with, I'm not adding any additional product really, just a tiny bit, and I'm just buffing out that turquoise with the rose quartz shade. And same thing, just touching up the edges to make sure everything is nice and blended. Then we're going to pop on some blush using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Party. And I did go a little bit strong on the blush also today, but I am just applying that on the apples of my cheeks and blending it back towards my kind of temple area, and then just buffing it out once we're done. For highlight, I'm going to be using the Coty Airspun Loose Face Highlighter in the shade Snow Much Ice. And this is just a really kind of glowy, frosty highlight, which is exactly what I want for a frosty-inspired look. So I'm just blending that on my cheekbones and up my temples a little bit. And then I'm going to, of course, put some down my nose and on my Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to very softly take it on my chin and forehead. Be careful, especially with really intense products like this. Go very light on those areas, because you don't want to look too oily. Then I'm going to jump back to the So Jaded palette to highlight the eyes, starting with the shade Diamond on the inner corner. And I'm really just going to build this up with a small little brush until it is nice and glowy in that inner corner. And then I didn't want something quite as sparkly on the brow bone, so I actually jumped to the shade Pearl just on the same brush and just lightly blended that out on the brow bone there. Then once that highlight is all blended out, we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to mist my face to set my kind of base products down. So I'm just going to spray this NYX Bear With Me spray and then hurry and pat it in with my sponge onto my skin. Then I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes, but before I actually apply my mascara, I'm going to re-intensify any of that aquamarine shade that might have been pulled off. And then I'm actually going to add a little bit of this glitter, which is super gorgeous. This is the shade Opal. It's kind of a light white blue iridescent-y glitter. And what worked best for me was to get my finger damp. You don't want it too wet, but just a little bit, and then just pick it up with your finger and really just kind of press it into the lid, and it worked very well. I don't have glitter glue. I'm sure that would also work even better, but this worked really well for me, and the glitter was super, super gorgeous. So I am just building that up to the kind of intensity that I like there, and then wiping away any of the little glitter fallouts. Gonna go ahead and pop on some mascara. Today I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way mascara. And then we are going to go ahead and let that dry down before I pop on lashes. So I'm going to move on to my lips, starting with this Lime Crime Velvetines lip liner in the shade Petunia. I am just going to, of course, outline my lips with a lip liner. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But yeah, so I'm going to go along all the edges of my lips, and then I'm going to slightly blend it in towards the center, but I am leaving a little space in the very center blank. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop on a Lime Crime. This is one of their liquid lips in the shade Faded. And I'm just going to pop that on. And then once that's on, I'm going to go ahead and pop on my lashes using the AmyJune lashes in the shade Judy. And that is going to be it for this look. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm super happy with how it turned out. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you all in my next one.